Greetings, I'm Mr. Lopez, and I wanted to welcome you guys to Algebra 2. Just to give you a little bit of information, so I've been a math teacher here at Olympia High School this is my third year now, and I've been teaching this is my 11th year now, and love living and teaching in the Olympia area. That's kind of one of the beautiful things about our areas, the great schools we have, and I feel pretty honored to be a part of it and be a teacher here. I'm originally from Southern California. The reason why I was brought back up here was my wife is actually from the area and is an alumni of Olympia High School, so feel a pretty good connection to the school. Let me give you a little bit of information about the class now. So in Algebra 2, kind of the big thing is just like what are we graded on is usually kind of a big question. And so our grade is really going to be broken up into 4 categories: the notes category, homework category, participation, and assessments. So the notes part is just students watching the lesson, the instruction, taking notes and submitting those notes, and they'll submit those notes through Schoology. Every lesson will have a homework assignment. And so the assignments they can work on during class, outside of class. There's going to be plenty of time for them to be able to work on that. They'll be able to ask and get questions answered via Zoom during our Zoom meetings. All dates are going to be posted in Schoology, and students again will submit those handwritten papers will be submitted through Schoology as PDF. I've already gone through gone over with the students on how to do this. We had actually a lesson on it on one of her initial meetings together, and kind of been walked through it. The third part is the class participation. So we're going to have quizzes at the end of each lesson. They're usually pretty short quizzes, usually around 6 questions. And they're open notes, and students can actually take them up to 3 times. So if for some reason first go around didn't go great, you get a couple opportunities to retake it. Just make sure that students are participating in Zoom sessions. And there's also going to be a discussion board with each lesson where students can post problems that they're working on or have questions on. So every student is going to be required to post and to reply to another student. And again, it's us just kind of collecting and being kind of a cohesive and supportive learning environment for us, and just a way to connect with each other when we're working. And then the last part is assessments. So that's typically tests. And typically those will either come in the middle of a chapter if it's a larger chapter, or typically very much at the end of a chapter. We'll have a test. With those tests, there are no retakes, so it's really important that you do get prepared for those. They are open notes, so that is a huge benefit to a lot of students, is they'll be able to have their notes in front of them while they're working on their test. So that's kind of the breakdown of as far as grading goes. The grading scale. So here you can see the grading scale. Grading scale is pretty normal, A, B's, and C's. The part where it gets a little different is if you notice that the C afterwards, there is no D. So C and D have kind of been mushed together. There is no D letter grade, only a C. So C's actually go down all the way down to 60%. So anything below 60% is not passing anymore. That will be labeled as an incomplete. So if someone does end up with an incomplete, typically they'll be provided a certain plan of action in order to be able to get a passing grade in the class. But incompletes cannot stay on your permanent transcript. So at some point, if those don't get sorted out, they will turn into Fs. So this is talked about Schoology quite a bit. So this is our Schoology platform where students will have access to all the material. So here's an example of what students see. They'll see their Zoom link for each one of our sessions. The Zoom link meeting is the same for every single session, so that never changes for our Algebra 2 class. That's always there for them. And here's just an example of what a typical lesson will look like. Students will be required to go through them sequentially, and they'll click on the first item, watch the video, take the notes, submit their notes. That will allow them to open up the homework assignment, which they'll work on. Everything's provided in that item for them so they can see all the problems, and then they can submit their homework there. There's this discussion board there where students can post questions and reply to each other. And then Students will always be provided with solutions to the homework, so that way they know if they're doing things right or wrong, and be able to kind of self-correct and make sure they're on the right track. And then at the end of each lesson is a quiz. And again, they're usually pretty short quizzes, about 5 to 6 questions, and students are just required to get a passing grade on it. So if for some reason they don't get a passing grade, again, they have 3 opportunities to take that quiz. And that's kind of the idea of Schoology. Again, we've walked through the students through each one of these components. And again, if anything ever comes up or there are any issues, definitely you want to reach out and connect with me. So that here's how you can do that. So typically we do meet twice a week as far as classes go. We either meet on Monday or Tuesday, or we meet on Thursday and Friday, or Thursday or Friday. So we meet once at the beginning of the week, once at the end of the week. But I am available outside of those Zoom meetings. So my office hours are as follow. So on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm available before school from 7:30 to 8:30, and I'm available after school from 3 to 3:30. On Wednesdays, when I'll be available for 2 different periods. One is just regular office hours from 1:45 to 2:45, and the other one is math support for during bear time. That is from 12:45 to 1:45. So essentially, there's 2 hours on Wednesday, a pretty big block of time where I'll be available for students. Or if anyone needs me, I'm available to meet via phone or via Zoom. But the kind of one important part is the email. That was always going to be kind of the easiest way for me to connect with people. I typically don't. I'm typically off my email in the evenings and at night, but I'll usually be able to have a quick turnaround on any sort of responses that people need. Yeah, thank you guys very much for stopping by, and I look forward to a good year.